Welcome to the Tokenized Economy. Here's today's explainer on layered digital asset custody. There are a lot of ways to secure digital assets, but today we're really going to focus on the institutional approach, a strategy that's all about building multiple layers of defense. So let's dive right in.
So let's start with a big question. What's the silver bullet for securing crypto? Is it a hardware security module, or maybe multi-party computation, or a multi-sig wallet? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that's actually a bit of a trick question. See, in the world of institutional custody, the answer isn't just one of these technologies. It's a combination of them. Institutions simply never, ever rely on just one line of defense.
To really get why, you have to go back to the most fundamental principle of blockchain, and it's this. Control over your assets is tied directly to control over your private keys. If you have the keys, you have the assets. It's really that simple, and that's exactly what makes it so incredibly risky.
And right there, that's the core vulnerability that literally keeps institutional portfolio managers up at night. A single compromised key could lead to a catastrophic, completely irreversible loss. So you can see, the whole name of the game is protecting that key at all costs.
So, how do they do it? Well, instead of searching for a single magic bullet, institutions build what you can think of as a fortress. They construct this multi-layer defense system where every single layer reinforces the others, creating a structure that's just way more secure than any one piece could ever be on its own.
This fortress architecture is usually built on 3 core layers. First, you start with a physical foundation. That's the hardware layer. Then, you add a layer of really advanced math, the cryptographic layer. And finally, you wrap the whole thing in human oversight, and that's the governance layer. Let's break each of those down.
Okay, layer 1 is all about physical security. The best way to think of it is like a vault. This is often a hardware security module, or an HSM. It's a super specialized piece of hardware, and it's engineered for literally one purpose: to be an impenetrable box for cryptographic keys, protecting them from both physical tampering and any kind of digital attack.
All right, next up is the cryptographic layer. And this is where the strategy gets really, really clever. Using advanced techniques like multi-party computation or MPC, the entire goal is to make it so that a complete single private key never even exists in the first place.
So how in the world does MPC do that? Well, instead of storing one key in a single vault, the system uses some serious math to basically shatter the key into multiple pieces, or what they call shares. And then, each of these shares gets stored on a totally different machine, often in completely different physical locations.
And here's the real magic of MPC. When a transaction needs to be signed, these separate pieces communicate with each other and collaboratively create a valid signature, all without ever being put back together into the original key. It's a brilliant way to eliminate that single point of failure that an attacker would normally go after.
But you know what? Even the best technology in the world isn't quite enough. The final layer is the governance layer, and this one is all about people and process. This layer makes it so that multiple independent human beings have to approve any transaction. Think of it like a missile launch system, right? You need multiple people to turn their keys at the same time. The operations team, the risk team, the compliance team, they might all need to sign off before a single asset moves.
Okay, so we've got the blueprint for this incredible security fortress. But who are the actual architects? Who's out there in the real world building and providing these institutional-grade custody solutions? Let's take a look.
There are several major players that really specialize in this. You've got companies like Fireblocks and Copper, and they've built their entire platforms around that powerful MPC technology we were just talking about. And then you have pioneers like BitGo, who are famous for their multi-signature wallets. Now that's a slightly different cryptographic approach, but it serves a similar purpose. It requires multiple independent signatures from different keys before a transaction can be approved. Again, it's all about distributed control.
So all of these different technologies, all of these processes, when you weave them together, they serve one ultimate purpose. It's a core philosophy that's behind every single decision in institutional-grade security.
Here's the most important takeaway. Institutional security isn't about having the one strongest lock on the planet. It's about making absolutely sure that no single key, no single person, and no single system can ever become the one weak link in the chain. By spreading out trust and control across hardware, cryptography, and human governance, you create a system that's designed to withstand a breach in any one of those areas.
This layered approach really gives us a powerful look inside a single one of these institutional fortresses. But that kind of makes you wonder, right? How do all of these different fortresses, built by all of these different companies, connect and interact to form the backbone of the entire digital asset economy? That's something we'll explore in a future explainer.
Make sure you subscribe for more explainers on blockchain, tokenization, and financial markets. And hey, if you have questions or a topic you'd love for us to cover, just let us know down in the comments.